You've come at the right hour. Truth has teeth tonight. Tonight, we turn the page, not just any page, but the page of swords, a card of restless minds, sharp questions, and blades drawn before the battle has even begun. But what happens when curiosity, once a gift, becomes a curse? Let me tell you a story about someone who chased the truth too far and discovered the cost of holding the blade of honesty in a world built on silence. Theo Lane was 22, hungry for answers, and just naive enough to believe the world would thank him for it. A journalism intern with a notebook full of questions and a heart that beat a little too fast every time someone said, "That's off the record." He took notes in shorthand, circled phrases like unverified or unnamed source like they were buried treasure. He wasn't just looking for a story, he was looking for meaning. He worked for the Beacon Tribune, a newspaper breathing its last breath, clinging to a reputation it had earned when people still read by ink and candlelight. Its newsroom smelled of stale coffee and forgotten glory. Reporters shuffled by like ghosts. The front page felt like a tombstone. One night, Theo stayed late. Most interns did for coffee runs and reformatting copy. Theo stayed for something else, curiosity. He wandered down to the archives, a floor nobody used anymore. Boxes of clippings, dusty microfilm, a flickering light bulb that buzzed like it remembered better times. And there, buried under a collapsed stack of forgotten lawsuits and faded headlines, he found a red folder. Stamped on the front in crooked typewriter letters, Halcyon. No timestamp, no author, no sign-out sheet, almost like it didn't want to be found. Inside, unnamed documents, glitched video stills, a half-burned newspaper clipping with a face Theo recognized. His childhood neighbor, reported missing 12 years ago, declared dead, now shown testifying, eyes bruised, voice shaking. His name blacked out, but Theo remembered that face.
This isn't just a story. It's a graveyard.
In the weeks that followed, Theo didn't eat much. Didn't sleep much either. His appetite faded under the weight of what he knew. The world around him became static, muffled. He saw cameras where there weren't any, heard phones ring that never lit up. Shadows lingered longer than they should have. The file revealed government experiments, long buried under non-profit grants and redirected funds, illegal tests on marginalized communities, relocation programs that weren't just poor policy, but deliberate cruelty, names of powerful men still giving speeches on live TV, boardrooms, campaign trails, charity banquets, and Theo? He had it all. Truth on paper, proof in hand, the story of the decade, if not the century. But proof is only power if you're willing to bleed for it. He took it to 2 professors. Both said this could change everything. One stopped answering his emails. The other warned him not to contact her again. He printed a copy for safekeeping, then another. Then he started hiding them. In his freezer, behind books, in sealed envelopes addressed to himself. Paranoia is the price of possession. Marla Vance, Theo's editor, was once like him. Sharp, brave, dangerous. Back in the day, she was the kind of reporter who ran toward fire. She'd won awards for exposing a mayor's scandal. Until her family got death threats. Until her car brakes failed at a red light. Now she walked with a limp and eyes full of don'ts. She had mastered the art of drinking 3-day-old coffee, and staying silent during moral compromises.
You think they'll pin a medal on you, kid? They'll pin your obituary to the front page instead. Stories like this don't make heroes, they make ghosts.
But when you hold the sword of truth, seeker, it hums in your hand, louder than hunger, louder than doubt, louder than fear. And for some, that hum becomes music, a hymn, a calling. The night before Theo planned to publish, a man in a tailored suit showed up. Clean shoes, clean nails, not a trace of sweat. He didn't threaten, he didn't blink. He smiled. A job offer, 6 figures, full creative freedom. Theo would finally get his dream. All he had to do was drop the story. No need to lie, just let it fade. Let the past stay buried. He left behind a card, black, no name, just a phone number, and something Theo would never forget.
The public forgets headlines in 2 days. But a legacy, that's forever.
Is silence the same as betrayal? If it keeps me alive? If no one ever knows what I gave up, did I really give up anything at all?
Theo sat at his desk. One screen held the story, the other a resignation letter. His finger hovered over send. Outside, the wind howled like it knew. He thought of his neighbor's face. He thought of the folder, of Marla limping, of his professors disappearing, of the man with the smile, of his own name carved into a byline or a tombstone. Then he thought of you, the reader he'd never meet, and the question no one else would ask if he didn't. Click! He hit publish and ran. The story went viral. For 3 days, the world did thank Theo, briefly. Then it moved on. The men named in the report denied everything. Some lawsuits, some speeches, one resignation, no jail. Theo never returned to journalism, but he never disappeared either. You'll still find him at a library, a bookstore, sometimes giving lectures on truth and ethics, always under a pseudonym, always near an exit. He smiles often, but his eyes, always scanning, always listening, like someone who knows exactly what it cost and carries it anyway. The Page of Swords seeks knowledge, wields truth, and questions everything. But he does not always understand the weight of the blade he carries. Curiosity opens doors, but some doors don't close once they've been opened. So I ask you this: when does curiosity stop being a gift and become a curse? And if you had the sword in your hand, would you raise it or lay it down? Choose wisely. The brave speak, the clever whisper, and the wise? They ask the right question first. So tell me, seeker, what kind of truth lives in your mouth tonight?